How is losing your phone comparable to losing your hair? And let me tell you a story. If you follow my story, you know that I have a permanent hair loss and I am wearing like a hairpiece 24/7. And I just wanted to compare you the loss of hair with the loss of my mobile phone just recently. So just to draw some comparisons and how the same applies. It's maybe hard to put those two next to each other, but it was funny and a bit of shocking to see that my acceptance process is the same with both. So let's see how those two compare. First stage, like denial. Denial that I lost it, that I lost my phone, but that same happened when I first started to lose my hair. It was a complete denial. It was like, it's not happening, it's not something that won't be recovered. I went to see a dermatologist the same way that I went to check my phone if there is any way for the phone to be misplaced somewhere and if anybody saw it. So there's that. It's the same process our mind goes through. The next stage is the anger. The negative feelings just burst out of you. So you become like cursing and just thinking like, why is this happening to me? So if you recognize that is the same thing that usually happens when you realize that you have hair loss and the hair is not coming back, you're thinking, why me? Like, why is this happening to me? And you're putting blame on your doctors, everybody. Like maybe you think you did something wrong, so you're blaming yourself. And that's like a vicious circle, just where you are in that anger phase and just in that rut that doesn't let you go. It's those negative feelings, I think, that's the worst. You put anger out towards other people and you also put it on you, which is obviously not really healthy. The bargain and depression stage. So you are left like meh in a way that you don't care anymore. You're kind of hesitant to even get back into like having the energy into your life, be it negative or positive. You're just neutral. It's like you are ignoring everything and you're like, what's the point? I will lose it anyway. So I'm saying here for both the hair and my phone, it's like you are in that space where you are thinking there's no point. That will happen again and again and again. Why even bother trying? As you can understand, this is something most people get stuck in their lives, no matter what's the subject about, because it's such an easy spot to get stuck, because you lose the energy and motivation to even try. So for me, that was maybe the worst part, because you just live like a shell and you don't even bother trying. This is where it's like your soul was ripped out of you. So you're not even having emotions of any sorts in that regards. And I invite you to actually realize when you are in that stage, because it's important to move on from that stage to actually kind of get to that release. Then you get to the last stage, which is acceptance, and this is where you try to proactively resolve any problems that you are facing. So you identify those problems, you check your options, you're okay with the problem as it is, and you try to find a solution. It's that stage where I feel it's crucial to come to, because once you start doing anything, like put in action, you will move forward. Everything before that is just keeping you at one spot where you get frustrated, and it's just the very nature of staying at the same place when everything else moves forward that you get frustrated. So that won't help. And as your logical side of your brain knows, that doesn't solve anything. It's your emotional side that's keeping you back. So this is what happened with my mobile phone as well, where I was like, okay, I can be in that spot for like days and weeks and months. Like it can go on and on, but for what? Like it is what it is. So the sooner you become a bit more objective and try to put your emotions aside, even though I know it's hard in some cases, it just helps to move forward. So you're trying to switch on your logical side to move forward. You have to be like more involved and more clever than your emotional side. It's similar like in some bad relationships or in like bad workplaces where you just have to realize that some things are just not healthy for you and you have to rationalize what to do next. So what I did then, I just accepted, okay, everything is lost. I even lost some backups and everything, but it's like repeating yourself is just nothing that cannot be rebuilt. It's not something that you cannot learn to live with going forward. This is what I did with the hair. So the sooner you come to that point where you embrace the new thing, like the new state, new clean slate, the sooner you will become efficient in it and the sooner you will get that familiarity with it. And that will be your new normal, as you would say. So as soon as I started to switch everything to a new phone, accepted the losses, accepted that I have to buy a new phone, I started to just build up the phone to feel familiar to me. And the sooner I created that for myself, the sooner I was able to just move on where I started and to build up upon the new thing. So I also suggest you do that for your hair and journey in your hair loss, because it does get better once you get to that point where you start to recreate yourself and your new life. This is where maybe some of you that are in those spots in before in your journey cannot understand how some women seem so happy now that they came to this point, but it's because of that, because they took action and they moved forward. You cannot really not be happier when you move forward, because anything you do choose, it will just put you on a road to go further. It's just the way of life, and I guarantee, try it and see for yourself. It's that very point of being stuck that is frustrating you probably the most. So that is how I compared the two. It's not maybe the same in the sense of how big of an impact it is, but I just wanted to draw a parallel because myself 10 years ago probably wouldn't do the same process with losing a phone as I did today. So one thing that builds you up in one area translates to other areas of your life, and I could see this clearly in this case, and that is why so many things just become better and you build up as a person. So I hope this story was helpful to realize where you're at and that will help you move forward.